Hey y'all, howdy do. Hope you guys are doing well today. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffany, aka Black Excess Rose. Today in this video, I'm gonna be getting into Capricorn's mind games. So, first of all, this video is mainly for people that care to understand and to know Capricorns, because a lot of people say they hate us, they don't like us. It's easy to point the finger and say, that's our scapegoat, that's our villain, that is the evil person. You know, in the movie, it's easy to dish all of that on us and just say we're the worst zodiac sign ever, without even taking into account that every zodiac sign has their flaws and their shadow aspects. So if you're the type of person that just isn't about Capricorns, you hate us and all that, why are you here? Like, go find another channel. This is specifically for people that care to know about us, that want to understand us on a deeper level. And also, you know, coming from myself, I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. It's not just like here and there. Like, I have it a lot throughout my astrological chart. I have family members and friends and colleagues that are Capricorns, both male and female. So I understand them. I understand like the different types of Capricorns, and I understand us on a very deep level. I'd say I'm able to articulate, even because my Aquarius in my Mercury, like communication, I'm able to articulate and explain us on a more higher level, in my opinion anyways. So just want to say that, because sometimes people like they come to certain channels and stuff and they say things like, oh, I hate this sign. Like, they'll go to like a channel where someone's talking about Pisces, and they'll go on the video and they'll be like, oh, I fucking hate Pisces people and all. It's like, why are you watching? Like, why are you there? Like, what if you hate them so much? Why are you watching a video about them? That obviously you like them, you just don't want to admit it, or you still have some feelings towards them or something. So it's like that with us too. Like, people, we know when like people still like us and all that deep down, and they like say shit to like trigger us. It's like, just you still like us, like you still care, and you're still interested, and you still want to know about us. That's why you're here. You know, if you didn't really give a shit, you wouldn't be watching. So anywho, we're gonna get into mind games. So as I stated in my what I think about your zodiac sign video, as I previously stated, we are a very mental earth sign. Sometimes we can be telepathic in our communication, but we read people very well. We can kind of understand and see where they're coming from. We can empathize with other people. We can feel them out. We would make really good detectives. Like, I'd say, like, you know, those people that do interrogations and all that, Capricorns would be very good at that. Capricorn people have this kind of bullshit detector test. So the whole thing with mind games and all that is, it's like, with a lot of Capricorns, it's like a test. It's to see like where you stand. It's to know and understand you on a deeper level. It's not just a test, it's more than a test, like for us. And the thing is, back in the day, I didn't even realize that I would do it. Like, I didn't even know it was a Capricorn trait. I didn't even know I was doing it. I didn't know my grandmother would do it. My grandmother's Capricorn. And now that I look back on it, because I wasn't really into astrology back then. I was young, I was a child, but as I got older, I started to learn more about astrology. And of course, that trait, that characteristic about Capricorn came up a lot, about how we test people and do mind games and all this, or we're mental. So when I heard, like, and researched and kind of confirmed it with my Capricorn peoples around me that they do indeed do this, I was like, wait a second, I think I've done that in the past myself, and I didn't even like realize it. I didn't know that I was doing it, but I was, because when you go about your day-to-day life and you're just, you know, just doing things normally, and people don't necessarily point it out to you that, oh, you do this or you do that, like, you won't know that you're doing it. But there's a reason for it. I'd say there's definitely a reason as to why we would test people, and we are not the only sign that tests people. We are not the only mental sign, like Gemini and people like that, and Gemini and Scorpio can definitely test the shit out of you. So can Pisces and Cancer. Like, Cancers want to see how much you love and adore them, or how much how you're able to empathize with them, and you're able to comfort them and be always there for them, or, you know, stuff like that. So other signs test people. We're not the only ones, but this video is mainly about us. Like, I'm gonna be talking about us this time, and I can do the other signs another time. But with us, like I said, we want to really get to know you, and we want to find out, like, many different things. We want to see some of the common things that we're testing for, looking for, like, how long-term are you? Like, it doesn't even matter what kind of relationship it is. We want to know how long-term this is. Like, if it's short-term, it doesn't matter. We want to see, like, if we're able to meet that need that you have, or we're able to fit in with that, with the time frame. Like, if it's short term, are we going to be able to fit in with that? If it's medium term, long term, we want to know. Then we want to know your personality. We want to know the way you how you interact with others, how you treat yourself, how your head works, how you're, like, mentally, like, how you think and all that. So it's not just, oh, we're testing you, oh, we're trying to see if you're gonna make a mistake, oh, we're gonna make a mistake, oh, no, it's not that. We're not trying to see if you're gonna like be an evil bad person. It's like, it's a very thorough and in-depth assessment of you, not like physically, even just like everything about you. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it can be physical, but it's not just one thing. So that's where people get it wrong. They're like, oh, this person is just, oh, they're just playing games and stuff like that. Well, we can test you a Capricorn can test you in any way that they want. That's why it can be like a mind game. It can be like Jigsaw or something like crazy. Like, it can be anything. It can be, you know, playing poker and just reading you when we're playing poker, like playing card games, whatever it is. It can be testing you, seeing how you interact with the people around you, like your family, your friends, family members and friends, what you say to them, how you treat them, the nicknames you have for them, anything really. We can test you in various ways, and it's not something to be afraid of. I mean, if you're interested in us, like if you're still watching this video and you haven't clicked off, well, I mean, obviously you're kind of interested in us, or you want to know more about us, because if you didn't give a shit, you wouldn't be watching, right? So if you're interested in us, we want to know why. Like, why are you interested in us? There's so many other signs out there. There's so many other great people doing this, that, the other. Sharing good information, creating things, being artistic, and putting out great art and great videos. So why are you interested in us? We want to know why. Like, what is it about us that you like? Like, what is it about us that you want to know about? And why did you choose us over somebody else? You know, is it something purely physical? Because, you know, that's cool if you like us for our physical beauty or our appearance. Is it because of the way that we display ourselves in the world, our vibe, our aura, how we kind of educate and lead by example, or we have this own kind of independence within ourselves, or our own kind of self-assurance? Is that what attracts you to us? Like, we want to know exactly why you like us and all that, because I wouldn't say we are the most easy sign, or the sign that's like the most social. So it's like, what exactly do you like about us? Because we're very comfortable on our own. Like, I prefer to be on my own a lot of the times. I prefer to work alone. I prefer to do a lot of things by myself. And yes, I am social and I thrive around people. I love people's company, but I also need time out for myself. That is very important, because sometimes, like, if you spend too much time around other people, you will never discover the deeper levels of yourself that you yourself have to go through, like the shadow work, the delving into your family history or your cultural heritage, your spirituality. Those are things that can be very personal, and things that you have to sometimes do on your own. So yeah, that's why we're like, so why do you like us? Like, what is it that you like about us? Like, why do you like us? Like, we're not easily swayed by communication. We're not easily swayed by words. Words are spells, you know. We're not easily swayed by what people say. We're not even triggered. Like, we're like the freaking wall. Sometimes we're like the bricks. Sometimes people try to trigger us and say shit to us, but it's like, we know you're trying to get a reaction out of us. We know that you have your own shadows and your own you have your own, like, things to be dealing with that you haven't worked on yet. So it's like, what exactly, like, why are you coming at us? Like, what do you want from us? Why do you want our time? Why do you want to be with us? Do you want money from us? You just want our body? Like, what exactly is it? You know, is there something in it for us? You know? But yeah, so the mind game thing, obviously if the Capricorn is very unhealthy, the mind games can be really scary, really crazy. But we want to know, also if you are able to keep secrets. We want to know if you're able to keep calm in a situation, or if you act out of, like, judgment, or you act out of, like, emotion. We want to know if you're able to compose yourself, because we don't date weak people. We don't date weak people. We don't like to be in relationships with people that are very insecure and weak and haven't grown and developed as a person. Maybe if the Capricorn is a bit underdeveloped themselves, they can be okay, you know, hanging around that kind of lowly energy, unevolved energy, destructive, toxic energy. They can be okay with that. But for more evolved Capricorns, they are not going to stick around that kind of vibe or that kind of energy. Yeah, we want to know, like, if you have trouble, like, what your mental state is like, because a lot of people can come online and say, oh, I'm this and that, I'm developed, I'm an evolved Libra, I'm an evolved Gemini, I'm an evolved Scorpio, I'm an evolved Taurus, I'm this, I'm that, I'm so great, I've worked on myself. Listen, I'm not perfect, okay? And I know you're not perfect either. And I know we both have flaws. So, like, you don't have to say that you're perfect. Like, you don't have to overdo the whole, like, oh, I'm perfect, I'm the best, I've worked on myself. Like, I'm not perfect, and I don't want to even be a role model. Like, I don't want to call myself a role model, because I already know I'm not perfect. And I don't want to say, oh, I'm superior, blah, blah. I have valuable things to share with people. I have valuable knowledge that can help people. I can lead by example. I can tell people about things that have worked for me, personally that have worked for me, and I can share that with others. But I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, because I know I'm not, and I don't want to hold myself up to that standard, because I still, the flaws sometimes is like, flaws are things that can make you beautiful, and can make you have your own identity and character and unique kind of essence to you. So that's why I don't want to ever say I'm a role model, I'm perfect, because I already know I'm not. Like, I've done shit and all that, just like everyone else. So I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. But when you say, we're watching you, like the people that like to say they're perfect, oh, I'm a perfect, woke spiritual leader, blah blah. There's a lot of people like that have this kind of what do they call it? A spiritual ego. That's what they call it, spiritual ego. And I have this thing where I'm like, let people discover things on their own. Like, let people, if they don't want to be spiritual, that's fine, like if they want to like eat really bad and hang out with a bunch of toxic people, like that's fine. It's their life. Like, who am I to say, oh, you should do this with your life, you should do that. But that's why we watch those kinds of people that also like to state how evolved and developed they are, because we're like, okay, well, I mean, that's a good thing that you've worked on yourself, but are you sure you're evolved? Because I do notice some toxic traits that you're still holding on to. I still see like how judgmental you are, because you judge people based on how not evolved they are. You judge people because they're not evolved as spiritually as you, or you might be like a very Christian person, a very religious person, and you think because you're very religious and all that you're automatically superior, or maybe you think you're more woke than this person, or me, or whoever, and because you think you're more woke, or you might indeed be more woke. I mean, you might have done your research and you know more than me, and then you look down on me. And I mean, it's like, we can see and we can feel all of that. We know who you are. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to say, hi, I'm this and that. Like, hi, I'm Johnny, and I do real estate, and I have this amount of money and investments, and you're so attractive, and I love you so much, and we should go out, and then you should come back to my place. It's like, well, I already knew you were gonna say it, Johnny. Like, you didn't have to tell me. Like, even when I saw you looking at me from across the room, I already knew what you wanted to do to me. Like, I already knew. So, Johnny, you're not fooling anyone. Like, I know who you are, Johnny. Deep down, I know your insecurities as well. But I'm gonna smile and say, hi, nice to meet you, Johnny. Like, really nice to meet you. But deep down, I know who you are. I know your devils. I know your demons. I know the shit you did to your ex. We have eyes at the back of our head, bitch. We have eyes at the back of our head. But anyway. So, if you come at us and say, oh, I'm so great, and you're shit, and all that. It's like, well, if you're evolved, and as evolved as you say you are, and this and that, the other, well, you're not gonna be stooping down low and trying to insult us and all that. You'll be leading by example. You'll educate us on where we went wrong, and you will basically explain in detail, Insulting people is not really an evolved thing to do. It's like the lowest form of communication. It's like, it's very lowly. It's not an evolved thing to do. Like, to just ridicule and nitpick at people, it's not really, how is that being evolved? You lead by example. You show how evolved you are. You don't criticize others too much, because if you spend too much time criticizing and trying to find faults in others, I mean, that's not a life to live. Like, you're dedicating so much time to trying to find perfect people out there. Perfect does not exist, and we already know that. So with the mind game and mental thing, it's not just seeing the flaws in people. It's seeing how people see the flaws in other people and how they judge other people because of their flaws. Because we know people aren't perfect. Capricorns know people are not perfect. We know people aren't perfect. We know we aren't perfect. We know that people like to judge others for not being perfect. So it's a very deep and complex thing. And I know people are like, man, I don't know if I should date Capricorn because they'll probably fuck me up mentally. And that's only if you do us really dirty. Like, we'll fuck you up mentally. Probably not. That's like a lower Capricorn will do the whole really like mentally screw you over. But an evolved Capricorn leads by example. An evolved Capricorn, if they're gonna cut you off because you've done something bad, they're just gonna leave you there, and you're gonna have to sort out your life yourself. They're not gonna help you and all that. So an evolved Capricorn's working on their goals and dreams 24/7, not stopping, not quitting, not looking back at the dirt, at the dust. They're moving on to that light. They're moving on to the top of the mountain, the sunny mountain. No matter how many cuts, scrapes, and bruises they're getting, they're moving up to it. You know, so any kind of insult and shit that gets thrown our way, people, you know, leaving us to be on our own with no food, no shelter, no water. Like, it doesn't matter because we're a goat. Like, we don't really give a shit. We're still gonna go after what we want. You know, the little insults and the little things literally mean nothing. They don't even deserve our energy. They don't deserve any of our time, any of our thoughts. They're worthless. Like, we don't really care. If we're focused on something, we're gonna do it, we're gonna get it, we're gonna achieve it. Whether we have to go through the storm, whether we have to do it on our own, whether we have a bunch of people cheering us on, or only one person cheering us on, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because we're not doing it for everyone. We're doing it for ourselves. It's a goal for ourselves. It's an agenda, a goal, and it is a status thing for ourselves. It's not for everyone else. No. It's a very personal thing. It's our life mission, our path, our journey. So it doesn't have any kind of connection to, unless it's our soul contract when we incarnate here on earth. Unless it's that, like, but whatever we're doing, we will succeed. You know, there's no doubt about it. And even if it's a failure in some person's eyes, like, it doesn't matter because Capricorns have a lot of drive and skill and motivation in them. They already know that a lot of people don't like that about us. We already know that. We already know that people, they pretend to be happy for you. They like to pretend to be happy for your success. They like to pretend to value you or say, oh, you're doing great, you're doing well, but deep down they're not happy for you. Deep down they don't give a shit. Deep down they rather see you just be dead and just disappear off the face of this planet. Deep down they really don't give a shit about you. So we already know that. Okay, well, you're not telling us anything new because people have shown their true colors and been like that in the past. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, you're gaslighting, your manipulation, your backstabbing, your insults, oh, you're not doing it properly, you made a mistake, oh, you're not all that, that doesn't matter to us, because at the end of the day, we believe in ourselves. We came in this world on our own. We got ourselves. So it's cool if you don't like us. It's cool if you think that we are doing too much with ourselves. We are too busy. We're too productive. We're this, that. Like, it's okay. It's okay if you see our flaws and you just think that we're the devil, like we are in tarot, and you just see the shadow aspects of us. It's okay. Whatever you think is what you think. I don't have to convince you. So, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we test people. We want to see, do you really like us? Like, what, like, you know, are you really who you say you are in terms of friendship, in terms of business, in terms of partnership, love. You know what I'm saying? We'll look at you in the eye. We're gonna be looking you in the eyes. I'm reading you seriously. So, and when we're doing our tests, people sometimes say, oh, but Capricorns are so funny and, you know, they crack jokes and all that. Yeah, well, we can be very goofy at times. We are very funny. We're very goofy at times, and we don't take things seriously all the time. Not at all. Like, this is a serious conversation I'm having because I'm trying to get into the kind of dark sides of humanity, society, and how that's related to our zodiac sign, my zodiac sign, Capricorn, you know? So this is a deep, heavy topic, and I wanted to get it out there because I think a lot of people misunderstand the whole mind game thing and get it wrong sometimes with us. Yes, we can use it to kind of scare people, or we can use it in a destructive way or a bad way, but like I said, Capricorns can sometimes be the scapegoat. Like, we're easy to it's easy to point and be like, oh yeah, that's the villain, like that's our scapegoat, Capricorn. Yeah, that's let's put all the blame on this person. Yeah, they're the easy one. Meanwhile, Capricorn are like Gemini, because Geminis are also get a lot of blame and stuff placed on them for being two-faced and all this, or having multiple personalities. But so Capricorns and Geminis, they can be like the front, they can be like the scapegoat, the front, and then at the back you have the real criminals, the real big bosses at the back that are doing some real dirt, some real shit. But the front is like the face of the corporation, the face of the business, the puppet, but there's a puppet master behind, or the real business behind. So it's easy to put the blame on the goat, because that's scapegoat, right? Scapegoat. So it's easy to put the blame on us, but I think, having met a lot of Capricorns myself, I can definitely say that is far from the truth. We are not the villain. In fact, I'd say some of the other signs definitely get away with a lot more than us, even because of Saturn. Saturn is our ruling planet, and Saturn can be very strict. It can be very strict, so it doesn't let us get off as easy, I'd say, as other signs. So that's why it's easy to just point the finger and say, oh yeah, that's our scapegoat. That's our villain. Let's dish this dirt on. Let's rat on this person. Let's, you know. So, and we already know that. So it's like, we already know how people operate, and the snakes in the grass and all that. So it's like, we see you coming from a mile away. We know what you're about, and we can tell if you're ready to put the blame on us as well. We can tell that, you know, if you're ready to just make us the scapegoat, because I mean, that's just how some people are. They just really don't give a shit. So but like I said before, it's too easy. That's the thing. It's too easy to put the blame on Capricorn. Like, that's not, it's easy to do that because you can say this and that, but like, you really need to watch the people around you. Don't just watch Capricorn. You need to watch everyone around you, because Capricorns have a lot of morals, especially if they're healthy. Like I said, we're a traditional sign, so we have these kinds of values, traditional values and traditional morals. It's an earth sign. Remember, earth signs can be very traditional, very practical. So we're not, I'd say, the most toxic out there, because even if a Capricorn is like more unevolved, they're still gonna have some kind of things that they will never do, some things that they'll just always stay away from, some deep morals and values, so that they can't. There's certain things, like if you're a Capricorn, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, there's certain things that you just cannot do. Like, you can't bring yourself to do it because you know it's wrong, and you know that you will feel like shit if you do it, or you'll feel like total utter crap if you do it. So the whole like thing about like us being the villain, I mean, we can just be a very stereotypical villain, very stereotypical, very like, you know, if you watch a James Bond movie and you're like, there's this guy and he has like a freaking scar over his eye, and like, it's just like a very stereotypical villain. Like, come on, like, that's just, it's too easy. It's too easy, you know. You need to like watch the people around you. That's why we assess everyone around us, because not everyone is all peaches and creams or perfect as they say they are, you know, or evolved as they say they are. Some people are just putting up a front. They're not. I don't know what it is. They have their own demons and things they need to battle. They are not fulfilled. They have super high expectations and standards for others, and they really need to just value themselves more and see the, like, overcome things more. You know, they need to work on themselves more. I don't know, but yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this discussion. But anyway, I've also been in like places where I was getting tested, you know, and by people, you know, older than me, same age as me, like different places and stuff, where I had to do a test and all that, where I was with some people and they're kind of like judging me and all that. At the same time I was judging them, I was testing them. They're like, they're like, wait a minute, are you testing me? Like, are you testing me? And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Just continue. You know, and I let them talk and all of that. They're watching me. They're like, what is this girl doing? Like, she's testing me, isn't she? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to come out and say I'm testing you, because that would be too obvious. That would be weird. That'd be like just unnecessary. Like, I think it's unnecessary. But I mean, yeah, like, it's human nature to do it, because we need to decipher, as human beings, we need to decipher certain things and certain people to protect ourselves. So it's a natural defense mechanism that humans have within them, to judge and to kind of, you know what I mean? And it's not like, it's not just being overly critical. It's about safety sometimes. Like, if you want to protect yourself, if you want to avoid getting into a bad situation that can lead to destruction, that can lead to harm, that can lead to something you don't want to do with your life, or something you don't want to experience. So you need to sometimes like put out your own tests, and tests don't involve going to a center and writing down, checking some boxes. No, the biggest tests and the most complex, hard, difficult tests that I've experienced were, I'd say, relationship tests, or situational tests, like in the real world, not like outside of the classroom. Those were the real tests. Little tests you do in school, you know, you can prepare, you can read ahead and all that, but the spontaneous tests, where you don't have any help, you don't have a guidebook, you don't have someone that knows what's going on behind you, whispering in your ear, turn left, turn right, say this, say that. You're on your own, and you need to basically look out for your own back. You need to look out for your own shadow, your own everything. Those are the tests, you know, the real life tests. Those are the ones that are, I'd say, the most difficult, the most challenging. So tests are already part of our life. They're already around us. We experience it all the time, and it's not just a classroom, textbook study classroom thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, so also, you know, I want to bring it back to the relationships, because, you know, we definitely test people in terms of relationships and if they want to date us and all that. Like I said, it's weird when people say they want to date us, because we're not, I don't consider us one of the easy signs to date. I don't consider us to be the most straightforward, easy to read sign. We're not very easy to read because we don't wear our emotions on our sleeve, and we don't display emotions with people we don't really know, or people we don't trust. The goofy, fun, emotional side comes out when we have established a strong connection and bond to you. So if you're already a family member or a childhood friend, that is very easy for us to do. But if we don't know you, it's like, we're just going to keep it very lightweight. The relationship's going to be very lightweight unless you say that you want to take things further, you want to go deeper, you want to know us, you want to date us. If you want to like keep things lightweight, we will definitely keep things lightweight with you 100%, and we will be there for you. We will always be there for you. We will be that good friend, that good babysitter, whatever, good teacher. It doesn't matter, like whatever it is. Like if you want a lightweight relationship, like we can do that, you know. But if you say you want to take things deeper, just know that we are willing to take things deeper with you. If you say you really want to know us, say you really want to spend the time with us, you like us, and it's not just like a hit it and quit it, like you really like us, you really want it to go further, okay, like you're serious about it, then we will take it there with you. But obviously we're going to test you, because we can be that, you know, nonchalant, we can be that, oh yeah, like happy-go-lucky and keep things lightweight. We can be like that all day, every day. If that's what makes you happy, we can be like that, because we're not a confrontational sign and all that. We know that in this world sometimes you have to be like that. You can't get too deep, dark, and heavy, because for certain places or certain times it's not appropriate to get into like darkness, the dark aspects of humanity, and get to deep feelings and deep expressions. We already know that. So if you're still here, I mean, obviously something about us has caught your attention and you're still intrigued, or maybe you have dated Capricorns in the past, or maybe you're friends with a Capricorn, maybe you're a Capricorn yourself. I don't know, maybe you just want to learn more about us, but I hope this kind of cleared up the whole mind games thing. Obviously, it's a very complex topic, and I might not have included everything. I can do another video in the future, but I did explain quite a bit, I feel, in terms of the mind game thing, how it's like a test a lot of the time to see where you stand, to see if you're really what you say you are, to see if you really, really want to commit to us or like us, because words don't really mean anything unless there's a kind of energy and a force behind it. Words don't mean anything unless there's a kind of big result that follows after, or a big kind of impact that follows after. Words don't really mean anything unless people can literally act out what they truly say and what they truly articulate. So if you don't act it out and you're saying this and you're speaking blah 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 blah, but your actions don't follow through with what you're saying and it doesn't align, you're not fooling us, you know. You're not really what you say you are. So that's the test a lot of the time. That's the mind game and manipulation is the unhealthy side. If a Capricorn's unhealthy and they want to mentally fuck people over, or mentally mind fuck them, you know, but that's like not something we do unless we're in a really bad stage or state in our life. Like, we don't, you know what I mean? Now, if you like us, like, if you have this thing where you mentally, like, you have this mental connection with us, you like how we mentally stimulate you and all this, well, that's like, you like us if you're into that, you know, if you like how we think, you like how the discussions we have, that's a sign that you like us, you know, you like how we are more traditional sometimes, you know, that's the thing, like, you like us, so you're intrigued by us. But the whole kind of like mind game thing is definitely a test to see where you stand and to see what you're gonna do, like how you treat yourself, how you treat others around you. And the test is sometimes it's given to all walks of life. So a variety of people, all walks of life, doesn't matter how rich, poor you are, how tall, short, skinny, big, how attractive you are, conventionally attractive, how it doesn't matter. Like, it can apply to anyone and everyone, and sometimes everyone is given the same test, or it can be a different test. It really depends on the Capricorn, right? But we definitely do it as a way to kind of decipher and to see, like, who's who in this world, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very deep assessment. It's extremely deep, and like I said, we're one of those people that kind of intuitively know already who you are. We kind of feel you out. We kind of mentally read you as well. Like, one-on-one, we'll mentally read you, and we'll mentally, if you're into like telepathic communication, you kind of understand where I'm coming from. But we can definitely like sometimes I don't like when I'm around a lot of people, I like I have to block them out because I'm hearing so much noise, and it's like so many opinions and so many messages in the air, and I'm like, I don't want to hear anyone right now, just don't talk to me, you know, just and everyone, like, pre-COVID, you know, when people used to party and all that and have a social life, I'm just joking, but when people used to like go out and all that, it's a lot of energy in the air, and I'm not sensitive to the point where I can't be around it. I can definitely be around it, but it's a lot to take in at one specific time. So yeah, and like I said before, like, when we're intrigued by a person and we really want to know them, and that doesn't really come around really often, like to the point where we're really intrigued by something. You need to have something really unique and special about you for us to want to spend the time and dedicate the time to learning more about you. You have to be doing something different that's not really the norm. And when we're interested in you, like, we will study you, we will read all about you, like, we will find out who you are, and but what we really want to do is know who you are one-on-one, and know who you are as an individual with us as well, like, personally, and not just for a short period of time, not just for a fly-by-night short period of time, like, oh hey, like, let's grab coffee and talk about shit for 3 hours. No. We want to know the layers of you. We want to know all kinds of things about you, everything, almost, you know. We want to read your mind. We want to, like, so if you're creeped out by that, well, obviously we're not for you, honey. But we want to like see what you're really like in depth and in detail. So the mind games thing, if you're intimidated by it, if you're scared of it, like I said, you can't be weak and want to be with a Capricorn, honey. You need to like have your shit together. You need to, even if like, there's no faking. You can't hide it from us. We will know if you're faking it. So you need to actually have your shit together. Then, you know. because we will know, and you can't hide it. Like, the vibes don't lie, you know what I mean? So I hope this video was interesting. I hope you learned something from it. And to my Capricorn people, go easy on the mind games, and don't like scare off like too many people. Don't be too intrusive, you know, take your time with it. And yes, decipher people, and yes, it's good to know where people stand, but don't get too caught up or wrapped up in it, because that's just like one part of Capricorn. There's so many other things about us that we have, like so many other traits besides that. That's just like one thing, and that's not who we are like all around. We're not all about mind games. We're not all about reading people energetically. Like I said, we have a funny, goofy side. We have the business side, the confident side, or self-motivated, ambitious side. So we have so many other traits besides that, besides reading people mentally and all this kind of stuff. So it's not, that's just like one side of us. It's not like the full picture, if you know what I mean. So I think I covered a lot, and I'm gonna sign off now. So if you want to connect with me on social media, my Instagram name is blackxsrose, just like the name of this YouTube channel, blackxsrose. Yeah, so feel free to subscribe. I will definitely be doing more Capricorn videos in the future, and more astrology videos in the future, and getting more in detail with everything, and even with my own sign, Capricorn. So I hope you enjoyed it. Stay well, stay blessed. Peace out.